Yo, what's up, guys? Today is exactly 1 month away from Deadpool and Wolverine, so we have a pretty special video for you guys today, and it's just gonna be my cameo predictions. And we have over 30 characters that I believe are going to appear, and it's also gonna be ranked on from least likely to most likely. But yeah, since we have a lot of characters, let's get into it.
I'm touching myself tonight.
Okay, so before we actually start the list with the 30 characters, we're gonna tell you guys some honorable mentions that I think will appear. And really, the only characters I have on this one is just a bunch of MCU Affinity Saga characters like Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Hulk, and people like that. Uh, Maybe a couple Multiverse Saga characters, but especially those first four I said, I think that they're going to be in the movie for sure. The reason they're in honorable mentions though is because I don't actually think they'll appear in the movie. I think they want to save Iron Man and Captain America specifically for Secret Wars and bring back Chris Evans or Robert Downey Jr. But I do think that they'll appear on those TVA screens because they're like very important characters to the MCU. And I think they'll tell Deadpool about that and basically give him a rundown of everything that's happened. Um, but yeah, to get started with the list, at number 30, we have a very hot take, and that's the MCU's X-Men. Um, Most people think that they're going to just exist from a different universe, but I have a hard time believing that because we know mutants exist in the MCU, and I think at the end of the movie, we'll figure out where they've been because there's mutants in the MCU already, like Namor and Miss Marvel. So I think that the rest of the X-Men kind of had to be there, and the rest of the mutants have to be there too. I think they've just been hiding this whole time. And I think we'll find out where they've been and why they've been hiding at the end of this movie. But that's more of a hope, I feel like. Um, for 29, we have the Kevin robot from She-Hulk. This is probably unlikely, I can admit that, but I think it could be cool and it could be possible that Deadpool runs into him or something. Maybe Deadpool comes into the MCU at the end of the movie and like Kevin meets him or something, and maybe he could tell a joke about how his fourth wall breaking works, but She-Hulk's doesn't, and maybe call some people sexist or something. I don't know. Okay, so the next couple ones are gonna be some pretty obvious ones. We basically know they're in the movie because we've seen footage of them, so I'm just gonna get them out the way, so I don't want to waste your time and show them later on in the video. And 28 is gonna be Azazel. We saw him in the first official trailer. 27 is going to be Pyro. We saw him in the very first teaser trailer. And then 26 is Toad. I believe we've seen him on the set, and then I think we could see him in the official trailer too. 25 is a little bit of a rumor, but I think it would be cool to see. And I think that is Wolverine, specifically played by Henry Cavill. And 24 is Wolverine, played by Daniel Radcliffe. I don't think either one of these two actors could play the MCU's version of Wolverine, so this is why I think they're going to be in this movie. I think fans would like to see them play Wolverine, so I think they're going to do a John Krasinski, Reed Richards situation where we get it, but it's just going to be a one-time thing. And we do kind of know that Deadpool's going to be looking for different Wolverine variants to team up with at the beginning of the movie, so I think he might run into these two before he meets Hugh Jackman's version of them. 23 is kind of two people. It's either Doctor Strange or Wong. Technically, both of them could be in the movie, uh, but we do know that there's going to be a portal scene, and I think one of them probably opened the portal. We know that they're basically going to be in the void, so what most people aren't talking about is it could have just been a sorcerer that got pruned from a different timeline that opened it. I think that's probably what it is realistically, but I think that whether that's them or not, they could still appear at a different point in the movie, and I think they probably will appear at a different point in the movie. And at 22, we have Hunter B-15. Uh, there's a lot of theories going on saying that the TV it's like a different TVA than what we saw from Loki. And I can see where people are getting that from, but I just don't agree with that, and I don't think it's possible. I think there's only one TVA out there because it's like outside of time. So I don't see how there's multiple TVAs for each universe where when the TVA are supposed to oversee like all the universes and make sure everything's in check. At 21, we have Mobius. If B-15's there, I think Mobius will be there too. Even though the ending of Loki season 2 made it seem like he was going to quit the TVA. But I do think he'll be back because he's a pretty big name and a lot of people liked him. And then at number 20, we have Loki himself. I think he's more likely than the other two just because he's overseeing the multiverse. So he's basically in control of everything. So I think he'll have to be in it. Okay, and at 19 uh we have one that not many people are talking about, and that's just any variant or version of Kang. I think we have to see him again. I think they're gonna recast him. I don't see them moving on to a new villain because it's gonna feel rushed if they do that. And I think the right thing to do is recast them. So I say, show us the main Kang, whether that's going to be the one for Quantumania, which I do think is going to be the main one, or if you want to change it and just make a whole new variant and do that. But you have to do it in this because from now until Avengers 5 or Kang Dynasty or whatever they're going to call it, there's not many multiversal stories. I think it's this, the Fantastic Four, and then Kang Dynasty or Avengers 5. So I think you have to do it in this, and I think they probably will do it because I'm pretty sure they did some reshoots after everything happened with Jonathan Majors. I'm not sure what variant it is, but my prediction is just any variant of Kang will be in here. Okay, and at 18 we have Sabretooth. There were some set videos and set photos that showed Wolverine and Deadpool fighting him in the void. So we basically know he's going to be in the movie too. Yeah, Sabretooth is going to be in it, I think. So specifically played by Tyler Mane, though. And then number 17, we have Kidpool. Most people know and believe that Kidpool is going to be in it. My prediction is Walker Scobell is going to play him. And for those of you who don't know, that's the kid who played Ryan Reynolds' younger self in the movie called The Adam Project. I promise you guys that if Kidpool's in the movie and we basically know he is, they're not going to miss that opportunity. I think it's going to be Walker Scobell. At 16, we have another Deadpool variant, but Lady Deadpool. And this one's really interesting because there's 3 people that I think could be playing her. And I'll tell you at the end who I think is going to be and who I want it to be. The first person is Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds' wife. The second person is Taylor Swift. I like that, but I think she's going to be somebody else, and I think we all know who that is. And then the third person, which I'm not hearing people talk about much, is what if it's Vanessa? If it's like a variant of Vanessa that became Deadpool instead. Taylor Swift, I can eliminate her first because I think she should play somebody else. And then between Vanessa and Blake Lively, I'm choosing Blake Lively because I'm pretty sure Vanessa is her own superhero in the comics. So I don't really know how I'd feel about her becoming Deadpool. So yeah, I think if she's in it, which we kind of know she's going to be in it because of the new TV spot, and in the first teaser trailer, they showed a Deadpool using Uzis, but Deadpool uses pistols. So that's not the Deadpool we know. It has to be a variant. But I think it's going to be Blake Lively. At number 15, we have who we were just talking about, Taylor Swift as Dazzler. And I don't care what anybody says. She's gonna be in the movie. They're not gonna miss out on this opportunity. I think Blake Lively and Taylor Swift are both gonna be in this movie because the photos I'll show you guys of Sean Levy, Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, Taylor Swift, and Blake Lively all hanging out multiple times. Um, yeah, I think that she's for sure gonna be in it. And most people don't know, but in Deadpool 2, uh, Deadpool's shirt has some cats on it, and those are Taylor Swift's cats. So Taylor definitely is gonna be in this movie. I'd say that's without a question. At 14, we have X-23, played by Daphne Keane, the same one from Logan. I think it's gonna be the same exact version of her too. Even though it's a different Wolverine, I think it's gonna be the same X-23. And a more grown up one. Because in the trailer, uh, Wolverine says, "Listen, kid," and I'm pretty sure he's talking to her. My money's on her. If it's not her, then he's talking to Kidpool. But he says, "Listen, kid, I'm no hero." I think he's talking about X-23 because why would Kidpool think he's a hero? X-23 would be like, "My Logan died, saving me," and telling him about it, and then he'd be like, "Well, that's not me. That's a different version of me. I'm not a hero." That's what I'm pretty sure it's X-23. Coming in at 13, we have Invisible Woman, played by Jessica Alba. I think Jessica Alba would definitely come back and do this. And those original Fantastic Four movies are very underrated in my opinion, especially the first one. I think no one really talks about it, and I think that was pretty good for its time. Um, and the reason why I think they're gonna ask her to come back is because my 12th pick is the Human Torch, played by Chris Evans. I think he's for sure gonna be in it, and I think they want one other member of the Fantastic Four with them, and they'd probably choose his sister. Deadpool would definitely make a joke either about him looking like Captain America, or what I think would be really cool if it happens is, since we know a lot of this movie takes place in the void, what if there's like a pruned Captain America shield, right? And during like the final battle, they're using a bunch of just things scattered across the void. And what if one of the things somebody picks up is Captain America's shield? And then something happens, and then Chris Evans as the Human Torch gets it, and then Deadpool will break the fourth wall and say something about it. But yeah, I think that would be really cool and really funny. I think everybody would get it and laugh and like it. Coming in at 11 is Ian McKellen as Magneto. For a similar reason as why I picked Invisible Woman, I'd just say Magneto will probably appear because I think a lot of other X-Men, old X-Men, are going to return and come back. And I think he's going to be, if he says no, he'll be one of the only people who actually say no. So I don't think he'd say no. If he does return, I want him to be wearing a comic accurate suit. Michael Fassbender got somewhat of a comic accurate suit. It was good enough for me, at least. But I'd like to see a purple and red one with Ian McKellen. Because this will probably be the last time he'll ever play him. So you got to go out with a bang. Okay, and getting into our top 10. At the 10th spot, we have Elektra, played by Jennifer Gardner. We kind of know this, and then she tried saying that she's not in it, but we know she's in it. Some fans think that they spotted her in one of the shots in the trailer. I hope that's not her. I hope she's in it. I just hope that she's in a comic accurate suit, which is what I hope for most of these characters. I hope all of them are in their comic accurate suits, especially the X-Men we're going to talk about in a second. Jennifer Gardner worked with Ryan Reynolds and Walker Scobell on the Adam Project, so I think it's reasonable to say that she's in the movie, if we didn't already know.
Did you ever think you were going to wear the Elektra suit again?
I don't know what you're talking about.
So,
what could you mean?
I'm hypothetically thinking you could be in a Deadpool sequel. Hypothetically.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, I'll move on.
You can't have Elektra without Daredevil, so at 9, we have Daredevil, played by Ben Affleck. In Deadpool 2, Deadpool says something about Batman. He mentions Batman. I think it would be cool if in the movie Daredevil comes out and Deadpool freaks out and is like, oh, it's Batman.
Who are you? I'm Batman.
At number 8, we have Photon from the Marvels. I think that the X-Men, I think that we're going to go into a different universe once they get out the void, and I think the universe they're going to go to is going to be the universe where Photon's at. I just don't see when we're going to see her again besides this or any of those X-Men in that universe. So I think this would be the perfect time to see them again. And I think maybe Wolverine will stay in that universe. Deadpool will go to the MCU. That's my thought process on that. I'm probably wrong. If it's not this, I really don't know when we're going to see her again. And if she's in it, number 7 has to be Beast, played by Kelsey Grammer. The main reason why I want them to go to this universe is just because Beast is super comic accurate at the end of the Marvels. And I'd love to see the rest of the X-Men in this universe. So, there you go. At number 6, I have Rogue. I don't really care who plays her. It could be somebody else, or it could be Anna Paquin. It really doesn't matter to me. It will probably be Anna Paquin, but I don't really care. I just want to see her in a comic accurate suit. And I think they will do it because she'll be one of the only people that aren't in it, because these other people I have are very likely. Number 5, I have Gambit, played by Channing Tatum. Channing Tatum was in Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds, and that was also directed by Sean Levy. So I think Gambit kind of has to be in this. And Channing Tatum really wanted to play Gambit, but they never got anything done. So this would be the perfect time to just do one thing, at least a small cameo. I think he'll probably have a decent bit to do. I don't see him saying no if they asked him.
The name's Gambit, mon ami. Remember it.
At number 4, we have Storm, played by Halle Berry. Storm is such an iconic X-Men that I think her and then 2 other people in front of her are going to 100% be asked to return, and I think they're going to say yes. There's a lot of things that have pointed to her maybe returning. Halle Berry posted something on Instagram, and it was her with short white hair, and I think this is around the time when Deadpool 3 was filming, so I feel like she probably went on set one day and did a couple scenes. Also, I'll play this interview for you guys where this Fandango reporter asked them about Storm, and then they changed the topic.
Yes, I'm going to do this very last one for the black girls out there. Storm. Now.
I'm going to answer with a different answer. We come to this movie, I definitely come to this movie as a fan.
Yeah.
A fan of the X-Men movies and the Deadpool movies. And so the movie was definitely made with the love of being a fan.
Make them mind your weather, sister.
And them weather your mind.
Okay, and at number 3, I have Jean Grey. Jean is also just such an iconic X-Men that she has to come back in a comic accurate suit, especially. I could also see Deadpool and Wolverine making a joke where they're fighting Cassandra and her army or whatever, and Jean comes in and they're like, okay, use like the Phoenix Force powers, and she's like, well, I don't really have that anymore, and then they'll be like upset and be like, oh, the one time we actually have you on our side and you're not trying to kill us, we don't even get the most powerful version of you. I think that'd be pretty funny to see, and I think it will probably happen if she appears. At number 2, we have the man, my favorite X-Men, Cyclops. This is probably why he's so high up on the list. And specifically, I want him to be played by James Marsden, because until X-Men 97 came out, everybody hated Cyclops. And rightfully so, because those original X-Men movies did a lot of those characters wrong and didn't give them the justice that they deserve. So we need to see some good versions of them. But Cyclops has always been my favorite X-Men. But I really want James Marsden to play him again, and I want him to have a comic accurate suit. I think a lot more people are open to this after X-Men 97 because that showed how cool Cyclops really was and how good of a character he actually is.
Solid work, team. See you on the ground. To me, my X-Men.
Okay, but at number 1 we have Professor X, Charles Xavier, played by Patrick Stewart. You know he's gonna be in it. He's in everything. And I think he's probably gonna die again in this movie because Cassandra Nova's the villain, his twin sister, and her whole entire goal is just to ruin his life and kill him and all that. So I'm pretty sure he's gonna die, and then Deadpool will probably make a joke about Professor X. Oh, Professor X died again. He's gonna say something like that. I can just already see it happening. So that's my number 1, and that's gonna do it for the list. So give me your thoughts in the comments. I know a lot of us cannot wait for this movie. I'm so excited for this. We have some more videos coming out soon. This is probably one of my most excited MCU movies ever. The Fantastic Four, I'm super excited for that. So we'll make some videos about that. Spider-Man 4, I'm super excited for. We'll make some videos on that. The MCU's X-Men movie, I'm excited for, especially after X-Men 97, because it seems like they know what to do. So hopefully they take some lessons from 97 and not some lessons from the Fox X-Men universe. But yeah, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Obviously, this is just my opinions, so don't flame me in the comments or anything. Give me your opinions in the comments. I want to know. It doesn't have to be 30 characters. Just tell me maybe top 5 or top 3. It's up to you guys. You could go all 30. I'll try to read it all. But yeah, just give me your thoughts in the comments, and thanks for watching. Peace out.